Welcome back to Strength Cultures Podcast, number one in the hearts, number one in the charts. Just quickly checking in before the start of this podcast to let you know that we are now offering the first month on the training app is free, and that is exclusive to our podcast listeners. Inside our training app, we have a bunch of programs and programming streams, things like power building for those looking to get jacked, get strong, but also lose some weight and actually train with some high volume in the gym. We also have power lifting, high and moderate frequency, as well as a bunch of strength and conditioning or hybrid style programs. As well as all the programs, we also have a bunch of educational videos, things like anatomy, nutrition, lifestyle, recovery. All of these things are built into the app to make sure that you are equipped with the understanding and knowledge needed to continue to push your training past your initial limits. And I just want to let you know that the entire experience is completely free. Free programming, free education, and free access to us in the Discord for form check and any questions you have related to training. Use the code PODCAST through the first link down below. Otherwise, let's get into the show. We're back. Welcome back to Strength Cultures Podcast, number one in the hearts, number one in the charts. This may be the most unprepared we've been for a podcast in a few weeks.
Don't show your cards.
Don't show your cards.
Let's just say we're
speak for yourself. I'm mega prepared.
We're often unprepared, but usually when we get in the seats, some juju comes out and ideas are flowing. But we've just sat here for half an hour trying to think of podcast topics and nothing.
Nothing.
For half an hour, nothing came up.
Speak for yourself.
And then the last few minutes, something came up.
Nah, I didn't bring it. I need it.
Charlie's turned into a murderer on his runs. It's ridiculous.
The demons.
What are they called? The
If anyone
demons.
dies in
The
Chelsea, it
demons.
was Charlie.
It was Charlie.
Specific demon.
Mate, I wouldn't be able to run. I'm that fucked. I literally can't. I was like dragging my heels. It was bad. The last 300 meters was the hardest out of the whole
What was
thing.
your run?
21K.
21K.
There's no chance you did 21K.
10K. It was meant to be 5. I was going to do like 4 or 5, and then I knew he was doing a 10K, and I was like, I got to the loop, and I was like, I'm just going to keep going. And like now, I was like, once I'd committed to like 500 meters that way, I'm like, I'm not turning back.
Yeah, that's too far.
So you just kept going.
I just kept going. I did it, and then I was like,
What was your time?
hour and 9 minutes.
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. I walked it. No, it was an hour and 9 minutes. It wasn't. Yeah, every K was under 7-minute pace. So I was happy with that. Well, now it's the goal. Try and get under an hour. That'll be a good goal to get. He got 55 minutes.
What are some of your sports psychology strategies to get through the last half of that run, Charlie?
I wouldn't say they're my strategies.
Just channeling
I channel some bad energy,
demons.
some bad juju in Chelsea.
Do you let the bad energy overwhelm you and overtake everything?
Just a couple of thoughts come up. I'm like, oh,
It's fuel.
it's fuel.
It's fuel.
Nah, the fuel that so forget those thoughts. It's just like I think you just, man, I don't know. I just get into this state. I get into this state where all I'm thinking about is just don't stop. That's literally, I'm just like, don't stop. Just keep, like it's just become so mental. That last, 4K was very mental. I don't think I've ever run that distance ever, even when I was playing footy. I never, even when I was playing footy, I don't even really think I ever did long distance running. So I don't know if I've ever.
Good job, man.
Yeah.
Fucking oath.
It's good.
So,
Congratulations.
I think you need to turn some of those negative thoughts into positive thoughts and you might be a bit better.
The negative fuels you.
You got to create demons. It's real Jordan-esque of you.
Creating demons.
That's what you got to do.
You got to face your demons.
No, you got to face it. Well, you just create them. And that's it. You create the
You're going to
fuel.
make up stories.
Yeah.
make up.
Everyone's
Now
after me.
you really sound
No one wants me to
schizophrenic.
succeed.
Yeah. Real paranoia fuels performance.
Schizophrenic on the run.
Yeah, you got to move past anxiety and into paranoid.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you gotta-
where the real games happen.
That's when you get into the sixth gear.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, what's terrible? Have you ever run the trail at night when it's
Nah,
dark?
I was thinking about
actually
doing it.
really terrifying.
My biggest fear
quite
is
scary.
like stepping into a ditch and like hyperextending my knee or something. So I'm just like sort of
Avoiding that.
avoiding it.
What
yeah.
trail is this?
Oh, the one at the back of the
Bicentennial one.
yeah, it's a big trail. No, it's a big trail. It's like a tan, and you can do like an 11-kilometer loop. But it just gets
river.
if it gets dark, there's no lights and shit. It's dark, proper dark.
So if there's no lights, it's dark.
Bit of indigestion.
It's real dark.
It's really dark, and if you got mute, it's like it's
Do you keep one headphone off just to like...
hear the footsteps.
Yeah. You get to listen to hear-through mode on the
I
headphones.
don't know how to do that.
So when I was looking at running headphones, you got to just click it once. I was looking at the running, running headphones and all the on the YouTube like reviews. Like these are the top 10 headphones for runners, like wireless in-ears that you can pair to your watch, which is a game changer, by the way. No phone. You don't take your phone. You've got your wireless headphones straight to the watch, and you can big PED, and you can download music
Yep.
to the watch. It's just tech house. So it's just like real repetitive.
Oh, so you just got like a playlist on there.
Yeah, you can download to it. It takes ages, but it's worth it. It's
How
worth
many
it.
how many songs can it store?
Like
Heaps.
200 on there. I don't
Do you
even know how it's
remember? Do
possible.
you remember back in the old days when before iPods and you'd have like a mini USB?
Bro, at 128 meg.
Yeah, it'd hold like 14
USB.
songs. And it'd be like one in, one out type shit.
They used to look mad though. They used to look so cool. There would be all these different MP3 players that would look hectic, and then the 128 came out first, and they're like, now we're bringing out the 256 meg. It's like,
You guys, I'm showing my age. I didn't have any of this.
I got to listen to 28 songs.
Did you start year 7 with iPhones?
So what was year 7? 2010. That's when they were just kind of coming
They
to
came
Australia.
out in 2007.
But my memory of like MP3 players was my first iPod was the iPod Nano, and it was like it's a full gig of songs. I'm like, wow, that's so much. And now like obviously gigs nothing.
You're young, bro.
But
I'm
before
young.
we had an MP3 player, so it was literally and just before the.
It looked like
And there was no
There's
screen on it. Yeah,
No,
you
it
click
had like
next.
a small digital
You
screen.
could only
a
really
little-
like just click next on the song.
Yeah.
That was it, and then
Yeah, my iPod Nano was like this big.
and before that the Walkman had a Walkman.
Yeah.
Do you actually had a Walkman? I remember
owned
there
a
was,
Walkman,
there was a Walkman floating around the house, but it was never mine. It was
Yeah.
just there.
That was that's like the in that.
Imagine running with
That's
a
real
Walkman.
90s.
Imagine having that on your arm, like
What's
running
that-
with
that's
a
what they
fucking
would have been
diesel.
doing.
I bought one of those things once. Not a Walkman
for the iPod.
but for the iPhone. I wore it once, and I'm like, I look like such a gimp. I got rid of
strapped
it.
here.
I remember a few of the songs that were on my first MP3 player. I had older Choco, godbrother, and cousins and stuff like that. And the first one I had, the weirdest selection of songs. I remember a few of them. There was Bobby Brown, Every Little Step, Lloyd Banks, On Fire, Pictures, Black Is Back. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, like R&B, hip hop,
Showtech.
it was the weirdest collection of 12 songs, but I remember, and that was the G up. And
So did you
big
use that when you were
formative
running back then, or
no, I was like 12.
just like
Yeah, I was young.
kicking it?
I was young.
Walkmans.
I was learning the way. They were paving the way for me. Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh, the headphones. That's right.
Yeah.
The in-ear headphones. I'm reading through all the comments, and people are talking about how you got to be aware when you go for a run. The shocks, and it's like, yeah, I can hear my music, but I can hear my surroundings. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I want to hear absolutely nothing. I want the most noise cancelling
I guess
thing.
it depends where you're running.
Out on
too.
the savannah with the
Oh,
lions.
A little bit of awareness,
Nah,
though.
where we are is pretty safe because
Nah.
it's enclosed. There's no car. You're not near cars.
Yeah,
or
your area is safe. My area is not safe.
the tan.
I'm joking.
You run on the tan too.
I don't
Chelsea
know.
Tan might.
But in saying that, so I bought these headphones with the noise cancelling, and like if I'm running from my house to the tan, to the bicentennial, I run there. That 1K to the tan is so like paranoia inducing.
Just cars and
So I always
shit.
feel like a car's gonna hit me, or one of the locals is gonna come behind my shoulder and
So you do
jab
that-
me in the neck.
But you do that with no hearing.
Yeah. So I'm like real twitchy. I'm real twitchy.
Yeah,
I was just like-
you're entering paranoia. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah, that's
Good-
what it is.
Good for times.
So between the thought that someone's either going to stab me or I'm going to get hit by a car, add the demons where everyone's trying to bring me down and wants to see me fail. Put them things together.
my competition.
and the competition. Man, I run fast.
He
It's
runs
good.
fast.
Sorted.
You've got the special sauce.
runs very
You're ready.
fast.
The sales and tech house.
I'm gonna expect some low run times.
Yeah.
50
Speaking of demons, though. No, not legit demons, like competition demons. We're not going to go too deep into push-pull run because that was like the whole podcast last week. But we've put in some like, what are they called?
demons.
Dodgy numbers.
Numbers.
Dodgy numbers. Some numbers to chase down.
Projections.
Projections. I was speaking to Dan Serlin yesterday.
Yeah.
One of the potential favourites for it, and he's like, "Oh, I want it to be like competitive or tight, or it could be anyone's game." Jamie, Charlie, and I, we put in the projected numbers, and
Our
like,
three are close.
we're like a point between each of us, and it's going to be exciting. That's a big demon of
What did you
mine.
put my total in as?
450?
450. Yeah.
Was it 450?
Yeah, 450. But I reckon I can do a bit more. So I'm gonna try and.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
try and do a bit more.
it's exciting. So plenty of demons.
I don't know about the run.
Competition fires up. I think the best in us, boys.
It
you know
does.
now that I know Fergus Crawley did the 5 minute mile, like that's so fast. I was on his Strava looking at his times.
Do you reckon he's juiced?
Nah,
He's pretty natty.
he's pretty natty.
EPO?
He's pretty small.
I don't know.
He's pretty small.
He never responded to my Instagram, man.
Dog.
Yeah.
You went on Mark Bell's podcast. Our podcast, Mark Bell's podcast.
I know what I would have been on.
But he runs some. Go on his Strava. It's really interesting. He runs really fast times.
Yeah.
Very fast times.
I feel like
for long distances too.
I feel like he'd be juiced in some capacity.
Some form of juice. There's a lot of different juices. He's taking one of them.
If you look at him, his body, it looks natural. He looks
Yeah,
like.
but what about his heart and lungs?
Are they natural?
Are they natural?
Take
Can
an
you see
X-ray.
inside?
Yeah, his platelets are natural.
Yeah. Is it his red blood or is it someone else's?
Someone else's.
What's his hematocrit levels?
Kipchoge's blood. Importing it from Kenya.
I read an article. I read an Alex Viada article. I think you read it as well.
Yeah, about
It
all the
was-
drugs he was doing.
Yeah,
He said
no,
all the drugs.
the drugs I've never heard
Viada?
of as well. Yeah. They were like he'd posted a downhill mile time, and it was like sub 5. And he put
4:15.
it on 4:15, which is crazy.
Downhill.
Downhill. It would have been.
Well, there'd be some different elements going downhill because you got like
You go really fast.
Probably faster.
And he was
braking.
yeah.
No, but like think about
you feel like you're catching yourself.
Think about the catching yourself every stride. Like you're
Yeah.
downhill, you're falling
There's
through.
no-
But it's,
No.
it's heavy as well. It's heavy. So you imagine watching that mile as well. It's been like
We're in a
105
train.
kilos.
What gradient are we talking about?
415. I don't know what the gradient was. I don't know what the gradient was, but then he put it up, and I think he specified it was downhill. And this is like a journal entry from him, and it's all about he posted this time, and in this time, like it was ridiculous, but it was like the running crowd saw it. Or maybe it was Reddit or something there. It found its way to Reddit, and all this running community started fucking tearing him. Like absolutely
Of course
tearing
they
him.
did.
Like tearing him. And then he's like, nah, I've got to show these dogs.
Well, they
And
didn't believe you could run that
They
fast.
didn't believe he could run that fast. So he's like, all right, I'm going to do it flat. I'm going to do a sub 5 flat, like really sub 5 flat. And then the crux of this is just talking about what drugs he was using. And I'd never heard of any of them. And now after last week's discussion, the EPO and push-pull run, I'm so curious what you could do on the day and just like, hey, boys, we're coming down.
Or just some stuff that would help acute.
Yeah, just on the
performance.
day, you know, like just a little drop out.
Well, it's an untested federation.
It is an untested federation.
It's not a federation. It's an untested event.
competition, so all's legal.
EPO.
All
We're
is
all
legal.
getting blood transfusions in the car park.
So if you're on that premium membership,
we're
DM.
all running with tape around our forearms, like
It's
Man, why is your arm bleeding? Like,
just bleeding through our arms.
I think I want to go run at an actual track though.
Yeah, come to Duncan McKinnon with me.
Oh, it's far.
Oh,
Well, when are you going to run?
go to Chelsea.
I run every
That's
Sunday.
track. Surely there's one.
Every Sunday because we've been going to
Every Sunday.
the one at Edith, but I don't like the
Grass
grass. I don't like grass. I want
you wanna get on the
to
track,
train on the
mate.
track. I
Grass.
got to find one near our joint.
slow surface.
People have forgotten that we actually lift weights too. I think. We
Nah.
are lifting weights.
We can talk about weights. How's
don't
your
lift
weights
weights
going,
anymore.
Dids?
I'll
Weights
stop.
going well.
Yeah, I'm going no weights.
No, you don't-
6 days of running only.
6 days of running?
I've
Yeah.
been lifting weights.
How much strength can you retain?
This
with-
week
with
I
no
pulled
fucking
a
lifting?
260 single for a conventional, which I was happy with because I hadn't deadlifted for 3 weeks. So I was happy with that as a starting point.
On that tri-week phase, are you?
Try week. It was the try weekend, and then
That was in like 3 week.
what did we have last? Oh, try week. Yeah, I'm on the
Tri-weekly.
try week last week.
Undulations.
Something was on last week. I can't remember. Friday. Oh, well, whatever. I missed it. I didn't deadlift. But and then I benched 130 for sets of 4 yesterday. So my bench is wide grip.
The bench is looking good.
The first session back wide grip felt really shit, like weird, weak. It was like, and then it literally 2 sessions and it was like in the groove again.
Groove and patterns.
6 years of motor pattern. You'd like to think so, but
You hope so.
What
You'd hope so.
non-specific work have you been doing between when you stopped your nationals prep and now?
Benching, I was doing 3 sets of bench. That was it. Mid grip, flat back. That's it.
That's over the last 12 weeks. That's in between nationals
that
and
was
Like 15
that
weeks
was from
now.
like
And
Throughout the tri-training.
That was from the start of December till literally last week.
just mid-grip.
Were you
flat
doing
back,
any other upper
accessory
presses?
work?
And dips.
Dips.
And dumbbell shoulder press.
What are your dips at?
I got up to like 25 for kilos for like 6 or 8 or something. But I do them like, I try and do the full range pause because I see some, and I'm pushing even some of my clients to do like partial reps.
No
Get
partials,
down.
no
Oh,
good.
there's
Get
heaps
down.
of them.
No
A
good.
lot of partial reps on the dips.
You really want to fry your anterior delt.
You want to.
Yeah.
You want to pop it through the front.
Bit of an anterior translation.
Nah, but I started very slow. I did body weight. I progressed. I paused, held a bit. Like I don't get any pain at all. Nothing. Like no discomfort. So I go to what's comfortable and then fucking pop it up.
Pop it up. Pop, pop.
What
Do
did
you
you
get a
get?
little reach at the top?
No, mate.
With your dip?
Might try that.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
CBF. I'm done with it.
You're done with
You
dips?
done with dips
No,
altogether?
I'm done with reaching.
Oh, reach.
Yeah, I'm off reaching.
Yeah, well,
We've gone so full circle and everything. I'm just want to.
no, I think Cressy. I think Eric
start.
Cressy fucked me. No, he did. He biopsychosocialed me so hard that I thought reaching was the answer to everything with my upper body. And I've been training my lats properly. I do no back. I did through the years I worked with Bryce. I did very little, if any, back
So we've
training.
just blamed Cressy. We've
Blamed
blamed
Bryce.
I'm just saying, but like
Just
the
everyone.
RTS thing is very like it's 3 exercises and then there might be 1 back exercise. But anyway, I didn't train a lot of back work and I've started doing lats before I bench.
Pre-fatigue.
Yeah,
Because you bench with your lats, you got to pre-fatigue them.
No, I actually train them. I train them because I miss them a lot. So I do them 2 to 3 sets.
Are you doing the pull down crunch?
I do I do one arm seated row and then like a bit of a fucking
Iliac bias?
Oh, you're using a band out of the vertical rack and a little crunch. Bird dogs?
I'm doing seated rows.
Are you doing a McGill curl?
Are you doing a McGill curl?
McGill curl. I'm doing the lock curls.
Yeah.
we got there. Pull down.
No, I just do them before I bench now. And it feels, when I get on the bench, fucking everything just feels fucking...
Activations.
No, it feels nice.
So you've been activating.
I've been
You've
activating.
been activating.
Activating.
Fuck me, Charles.
Jeez.
What do we say about activating, man?
We've been off activations, man. We can't go around back to activations.
Just quickly talk about the way we tried to plan this and ask ChatGPT for the myths. And the ChatGPT spits out all these myths, these 10
And
myths.
they sucked.
And it's so funny. There was like the third iteration of myths that Anthony got to with ChatGPT. Is it B or P?
P.
ChatGPT.
PT.
P. Yeah, when you say it
GPT.
fast, it sounds like a B.
GPT.
GPT. Get better today. And then we get to it. And it's so funny. What is it? Crunches aren't good for abs or whatever. And it's like, nah, they're good
Crunches,
for abs.
it was crunches are the best way to build abs.
Yeah,
That was
Charles
the
like,
myth.
Yeah, it is the best way. Like, all these myths were like, no, I agree with that.
It was like cardio's not good
Well,
for
look how
weight
these
loss.
myths.
Cardio's not good for weight loss.
It is.
Yes, of course it is.
You can start to see how people get really confused.
Yeah, because we drill the confusion in the industry. We have done.
What do you mean we?
We've literally been shitting
It's
on
a full
activation
circle, bro.
work for who knows how many months, and then you come in. And you're like,
Incorrect.
I've been doing lats, and you're trying to say I've been training them. Really, you've been activating your lats before you bench press, and you're performing better.
No. Incorrect. I'm not. I'm not activating my lats. I'm just doing my lat training before I bench because otherwise I don't do it. And I'm pretty
you're
sure
not-
I had a lat
you're not
tendinopathy.
doing-
You know how you say my ribs?
Oh, here we go. Self-diagnosis.
So Eric Cressy BPS'd you.
Everyone.
Eric Cressy tore your lat.
Charlie, you're like every powerlifter's like, yeah, I've got
Eric
tendinopathy.
Cressy didn't get us doing dips though. That lit it down for a while. You brought that over from America. Took us 5 years to realise we can do dips.
So it's your fault.
That's true. It's Jamie's fault. It's Jamie's fault. It's Jamie's fault.
It's my. I'll take the blame.
No, I want to clear any confusion. I'm not activating my lats. I'm just doing my lat training before I bench.
Because here's the difference. When someone says activating, there's generally a band involved. There's generally not a lot of load. And it's just about a bit of a sensation.
Yeah.
All you're doing is a single arm
defend me,
cable
bro.
row to an RPA. You're training.
I'm training and I'm trying to overload it. I've been doing 3x12 or whatever, 35, and then I'm going to try and do fucking 40 and 45.
So what's the
I'm gonna
primary
train it.
purpose?
Huh?
What's the primary purpose of it? The lat training.
Because I don't do it. I don't do much or any back training.
Yeah.
I've been getting that pain there. When I do it before I bench, the pain goes and I feel better. So I perform better.
So you're priming it. You're priming your lats.
priming. I'm activating.
So
I'm activating.
So is it activation? Have we come
I
to
think
that?
it is.
It is. It is, but it's,
I think it falls in the bandwidth of activation.
It is.
Activation.
I remember when remember another
not
thing why we confuse the listeners.
Not
We,
activation.
oh no, I'm
No,
gonna,
you're confusing the listeners. I'm saying
you're
activation.
You did a fucking couch stretch last week. Hang on, you're done. Hang on, I got a better one. Remember when for about 20 minutes of a podcast we shat on the JM press, like we were just teeing off on the JM press, and then literally like 2 sessions later we're training a vlog, and I turn around and fucking Charlie's doing a JM press.
Because JM gave
And
me
you,
some tips.
hang on.
I will wear that one.
And then I'm like, Charlie, what are you doing? You're like, I'm doing a close skip bench press. I'm like, no, you're fucking
You're doing a
not.
JM press.
Nah, I used to call it a barbell skull crusher. But then you're like, that's pretty sure JM press. So I'd confused it.
Yeah,
But anyway,
so you're the problem.
no, I'm not the problem. I'm very clear with what I'm saying. I didn't like the JM press. JM gave me some tips. The tips worked. Now I like it.
So you weren't doing the JM press properly. That's the problem.
Motorcycle.
So JM sorted us out.
And
gotta
you've
throttle out.
and you've ruined the Victorian fitness industry.
You've been confusing everyone, Charlie.
You're the issue.
Ah, fuck me. Nah, every press you confused me. Sorry, Chris. Too much serratus.
Cressy's the man.
Too much. I'm no, he's the man, but too much emphasis on the serratus.
What do you mean? Do you think Ziz had too much emphasis on the serratus?
No.
He said it. Shredded serratus.
Doesn't mean you're shredded.
Zero drama. Say no, you're shredded.
Shredded.
If you enjoy the way in which we view and talk about training, I'm going to assume that you'd probably also enjoy the programming and the strategies we use for our clients and athletes here at Strength Culture. You can get free access to all of our programs by using the code podcast through the first link down below, as well as a whole bunch of educational videos where we help you understand and better apply the things that we talk about in the podcast. Again, first link down below, podcast as the code, and your first month is completely free.
We're not confusing anyone.
Yeah.
You're
Anyway.
confusing yourself.
You're confusing yourself. That's the big problem.
I'm not confusing myself. I'm
sound confused,
Hey,
mate.
you're chopping, you're changing. You don't know left from right, motherfucker. You don't know.
I reckon I've chopped and changed the least over the last fucking 6 years.
All right, it's not a competition.
What else have you brought into your training that's been productive?
Outside of activation.
How about your
The only thing I've changed apart from what is I'm just doing some lat rows before I bench.
activating your lats?
What fibers?
The fucking iliac.
Yeah, it's my favourite division.
All right. Favorite division?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know how to activate them because I can't see the content.
I've brought nothing else new into my training.
What about your rope crunches? How are they going?
They're good. I like them. So that was another thing. I
Are you
feel
doing
like
that for abs?
yeah, I just like a bit of abs. Yeah, they're bad for abs. So no, a bit of abs feels good. Get the fucking trunk moving a bit. Yeah. We never did know because I feel like that was another thing we sort of got stuck. It was we were very like, we used to train the core isometric, like planks and shit, and then
Yeah, we just used it as like a teaching tool.
teaching tool.
Yeah,
But
that's all
then we
it was,
never
yeah.
really progressed much.
We never really did core training.
Yeah.
So I noticed all of us are programming it a bit more, doing it a bit more. Clients like it as well. I like it. But sorry,
Charlie, can you stop eating 10 minutes for the podcast?
to just might.
This is just going to be an intervention of Charlie. The next 40 minutes.
Confusing everyone in the fucking.
Do you chew your food?
I don't think he does.
Do you blend it?
I think you need to stop having liquid calories and start actually chewing some food.
Nah, chewing's for losers, bro.
Chewing's for.
Chewing
time
for
is
people
money.
who've got time.
Time is money.
If your net worth is under 5 millis,
You shouldn't be
chew your
chewing.
food. Yeah.
But no other real changes.
All right, well, let's on the fly. What other things have we changed our mind on in training? Have you introduced anything with your training? Or actually, before we go there, why do you think the core training is important?
Why don't you or why do you?
No, why do you?
I think-
Like, what's your
So
reason?
my was movement variability because especially with
Spectrum.
strength powerlifting training, it does dominate. Yeah, the posterior chain gets a little bit more hypertonic, a bit more tonicity.
That's a good one.
It does. It gets a lot more jacked up. You're doing deadlifts, you're squatting, you're benching in arch position. And typically, strength athletes, powerlifters, whatever, the folks who want barbell training don't get a lot of movement through their trunk, whether that's like lateral flexion, flexion, whatever it may be.
Rotation.
Brother,
rotations,
disrespect that transverse plane.
rotations as well. But yeah, actually moving the trunk and bending the trunk and loading it, and actually load. And when we say loading it, we mean like again progressing it over time,
And twisting it.
twisting it.
What
So
movements are you doing?
Right now, GHD crunch and rope crunches is the only two I'm doing. So very sagittal plane
I love hanging knee raises.
and
They're
hanging
amazing.
knee raises.
Hanging knee raises.
Yeah, you really like focus on like tucking the hips under as you bring those knees up to get that bit of that
I
function.
always find with hanging stuff, my grip is just not.
Do you straps?
I have shit grip, so I'm making them not optimal by challenging my grip because I want to challenge my grip because I think for years, and here's something I potentially can change my mind on.
I like
We're
that.
always like,
Purposely making it harder.
bro, because for years, like, oh,
It's like that lunge curl.
optimal back training. Use what? Yeah, lunge curl, 100%, bro. Make it shit. Challenge two things at the same
Renegade
time and achieve nothing.
Renegade row.
Renegade rows.
I love renegade rows. We'll get to that in a second.
Renegade rows.
But for years, it was like, oh, you want to challenge your back, use straps. So I use straps to everything. I'm like, my forearms are weak as fuck. Like, this is a problem. And I'm like, yeah, using fucking straps for a 30-kilo dumbbell row. My coach is fucking calling me out. I'm like, no, we've got dramas. So there are a few things where I'm trying to. There's a few things where I'm trying to not use straps as much as, yeah, it's not the best stimulus for my back or my abs. I want my forearms to be challenged. I think I've just under-challenged them for too long, especially in the past. I used to use straps for deadlifts. I've just never trained my fucking forearms.
Are you going back to hook grip? Or
no, I'm doing over, but that's the problem. See, I want to do.
Why are you going away from hook grip?
When I returned to deadlifting about 9 months ago, I did over underhand, and it felt good, and it's felt good since. So,
do you think you got caught up when you were younger? Because hook grip, I always felt was the. And I know I thought the same. Every young person wants to. They come. It was cool. It was cool. It's cool.
Yeah,
like
you were influenced, weren't you?
Yeah, 100%. You see Bryce Korchek doing these big deadlifts with hook grip, all these other lifters, and you go, I want to do hook grip.
And then you drop everything.
And you drop everything.
I will defend myself and shit on everyone else. So there's so many people who.
That's a good myth.
Go on. Hold it. My turn. So there's so many people who do hook grip who always lose their hook grip. I competed 6 times. I've never dropped a deadlift on hook grip. I've missed deadlifts a lockout. My hook grip has never failed me. I've moved away from hook grip. So you
clocked it. You clocked hook grip.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
I clocked it. Hook grip was not an issue for me. There's so many people like, oh man, grip will be there next day. Oh, just if my thumbs don't tear, I'll get that deadlift. Bro, it's not working for you. It worked for me. I was able to
how'd you clock it? I
didn't clock it. I'm just trying a new challenge. But I wasn't just this thing of like, the strength was there, but my hands open. If your hands opened up, the strength wasn't there. So, a lot of people, I never push anyone towards hook grip. If someone tries it and it's fine and there's no issues, as soon as someone is like missing half their deadlifts or they're opening up, just go fucking mixed grip. Like it's not the juice isn't worth the squeeze for a lot of people. I've had
so many clients that are adamant hook grip, and it's the same. I ripped my hand again today.
The only people who I kind of allow to do it are the people who, like me, have no dramas. No, it's the truth. Like James Britton, he pulled fucking 245. His hands opened up once on a rare occasion, but for a year leading into his meet, his thumbs were always fine. So if that's the case, do it. But if not, it's not worth it.
No dramas.
No, I agree wholeheartedly, and I try and push. I'm in this weird sort of point with guys, especially if I'll kind of want them to do it for a bit to learn, to see that it's not all that. But
you'd have the right hand.
Show them what they're missing. I did the same thing too. I did it for about 6 months. I did it into ProRow, and all I ever felt was all I was thinking about was my grip. And I was a good deadlifter where I would like. One of the things with my deadlift I felt that I was always good is I had the grunt to just get it up. I knew if I just with mixed grip, but then with hook grip, I'd lose that, and all I'd be focusing on was the grip. And then so a 300 deadlift felt 40 kilos heavier. Yeah. Like it just felt like it just was shit. And so that's why I scrapped it and went back to mixed grip, and I did so much better with mixed grip.
Yeah. So you didn't clock hook grip like Didier did though?
No.
Yeah.
No, but I came second in nationals.
Should have just tried harder with hook grip.
But I came second in nationals. No, the myth I wanted to say, and this comes up so much, is mixed grip will give me imbalances.
Yeah, classic.
That's a big one.
I definitely bought into that when I was young. There was a few YouTube videos you watch, and you're like, this trap is a bit better than the other trap. But it's like, that's probably the case in like untrained people anyway. Like, I don't think it's a year of doing mixed grip deadlifting that's made your body completely fucking twisted or unbalanced. Just doing 5 working sets a week. Like, I think that's the reason.
If you look across the board, like, and again, this is not a study that's been referenced, but how many people are mixed grip that have massive deadlifts that are fine?
Heaps.
How many people
have gotten injured from doing mixed grip?
There's the very rare chance to play devil's advocate. If you bend your arm, biceps, but outside of that, as long as you keep your arm straight.
I've got a theory on the bend arm biceps. I think that only happens to people that are on gear.
Generally speaking, yes.
No, that's not
I agree with you. I agree. I agree.
When was the last natural lifter that tore their bicep?
Brendan's the only one. He's the only one.
But it's rare. He fucked something up.
He fucked his execution up.
Didn't the plate slide off or something?
No, it's just his arm was bent.
He bends his arm, so he pulls over, which you shouldn't be doing. So if you are out there and you're mixed gripping, keep your arms straight.
And I drill that into all my clients. But just like with a lot of injuries, it's the bane of people who are on drugs. Like it's very rare that happens.
That
to someone
and
who's
quad
natural.
tendons.
Talk about structural
Man,
adaptation.
ProRow.
Yeah, sorted.
How many people blew their knees out of
Oh
ProRow?
man, I wasn't
It's a
there
shame.
thankfully.
They were wheeling them out like on. There was one ambulance. Man, guys on the ground.
should've laughed.
Deuce comes down and goes, another guy just blues down.
Not laughing at the injuries.
I know.
No,
No,
I've
there's
never.
two conversations going on here. Hang on. What are you guys laughing
I'm
at?
laughing
at Charlie.
I started laughing, and then Didier's like, "Nah, it's not funny." I'm like, "No, I'm not laughing at people getting injured because been through it. I'm laughing at the way he said it.
wheeling them
He's
out.
like, "They're wheeling them out. They drop them like flies."
I could not believe it. I couldn't believe how many people were just. I've never ever seen that at a comp. Just injured, collapsing with the bar on their back because obviously they're on gear. They got the wrap, so they're lifting superficial loads, and then one little thing goes wrong. They just crumble, and then this guy's on the ground. And
I think a lot of the
excitement of it.
That's the thrill.
the hesitation or the fear around lifting heavy, like with most things, it comes from those extreme examples. And you'll have someone who started lifting weights and like, oh, my uncle or my dad told me, oh, this is really dangerous. And what's your uncle or dad thinking about? They're thinking about some video they saw of some guy squatting 350, probably in wraps, probably on gear, his knee fucking snapping. It's like, that just doesn't happen. Come to a natural meet, man. Like, how often does that shit happen? It's obviously there's injuries, but those like catastrophic injuries, that is very rare in tested powerlifting.
Yeah,
Like,
but just to take it, because it sounds like we're just shitting on people on drugs. It's not that either.
No, not at all.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of. I think that the kicker is it's the rate of progression.
yeah.
A lot of the time, the rate of the progression and passive structures not adapting
Yeah.
to the amount of muscle, the strength fast enough, because that does take a lot longer. And you see a lot of guys, we know a lot of gear lifters that don't have that sort of shit because they do take their time with their
And a bit
drug
more
use. They do take their time with their rate of progression over the long term because they are paying respect to that.
Yeah.
It's just that when you are gaining like that and you're like, oh, I can just pin more sauce and I can get way stronger, you're probably not going to see that same chronic workload develop over fucking years, and the chance of those real ridiculous injuries is probably going to come down.
And this is me and Cam were talking about this. This is probably where some of those more prescribed load, linear progression, or whatever you want to call it, methods work better in these instances.
for
Because for our lifters, if we say, have at it, if you're feeling good, slam it. If you're not feeling good, pull back. That's probably going to be fine. But if you tell someone who's using equipment plus on drugs, if you're feeling good, slam it, and suddenly they're going 30 kilos heavier than last week, it's probably a recipe for disaster. And like we joke, but like that's probably where it's like, all right, let's only go up 5 kilos this week. Yeah. Let's stay here for next week, just to like stop yourself from making gains at such a rate where these things tend to happen.
You get that there bilateral quad tendon rupture. Like that's an injury.
Yeah, that's an injury.
Like, that's an injury.
That's
it's unbelievable. You know what I
really
mean?
bad.
Like to have both is just scary.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
Another thing I noticed at ProRow too is a lot of missed openers, and I feel like there's a lot of too heavy openers.
A lot of
This
people
is something open too heavy. That was also another thing I noticed.
Well, when I
That
was
really hard.
This happens at no,
I think it's
at fucking tested meets too. I'd say a lot of the time.
no, I think it actually is a cultural thing that they make the second attempt. A lot of people make the second attempt the heaviest attempt, and you almost have 2 cracks at it. Because it's what happened when me and Will were in America. They all opened heavy, and then a lot of them would hit their seconds and then just not take the thirds.
Maybe they're conserving
I'd say
energy.
more than half the field didn't even take their thirds.
So they're conserving energy as well. Because
No,
they're lifting
I don't
such
know.
Do you
big
think?
weights.
And do you think it's like technical? Like they're just maybe I'll give it another crack because there is that technical variance
With the
of
wraps,
heavy
it's
loads or
harder
with the
to,
wraps or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. Could be that.
'Cause I don't know. I saw that Death Grip Derek Thistlethwaite. The same thing. He hit a PR of 6 attempts.
Yeah, and they
5
just
for
stopped.
6, yeah.
He nailed the second, nailed the second, nailed the second, nailed the second. He's like, all right, that's my day.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
it's
So
not-
there is a cultural thing to we've been brought up in more of like the IPF version of things,
total,
heavily influenced by like John Paul Cowkey, which is like go 9 for 9, build your total, like
Last warm up.
yeah, like a lot more of that.
It could just be with the amount of weight they're lifting. If they get a number on the board that where they're happy with, they're like, that'll do me. Like it's almost like I've squatted 800 pounds. Maybe I don't have it. Maybe in one given day, I don't have 2 800-pound plus squats in me. So I'll just get one.
Yeah, well, that would be
and
another
just
thing.
leave it there. It's just like I could gain another 20 pounds on my squat, but is it worth it when I've already got a pretty solid number on the board? Like because the risk of injury and all that stuff just becomes a lot higher.
It'd save a lot of energy, I'd say, as well. Like having 3 less attempts.
But I guess
heavy weight.
the caveat of that is you could just open really light and your second's reasonably challenging and then your third's hard, which is something people would do in the tested world. Like fucking Jesus Oliveris, his third's like 470, probably opened on like 420 or something. Like it's not like he's going 450, 460, 470. Like you just make your opening your last warm up. But anyway,
Yeah. No, I think there's a few reasons for it.
Crazy.
The main reason is we need to start doing drugs, boys.
will drugs stop
PO,
my lower
man.
back from hurting when I run?
We'll get some
Running.
get some
I
IVF troops up here.
I asked, I don't know if this is too buzzed to say, like, I'm a natural lifter, lifetime natty, but I asked someone if I took an Anadrol on the day of push-pull run, what would happen? So
Just want to know.
I'm just curious.
What does
I was
Anadrol
just
do?
curious. Huh?
What is that? What is Anadrol and what does it do?
It's like they all take it on the
Comp day.
like on comp day. So people take it in the lead up as well, but it's very liver toxic. So it's an oral. It's an oral, so you're not meant to take it for long periods of time. You take it and it ups your aggression, focus, but you can still stack on heaps of muscle and whatever else.
I know nothing about these drugs. There's so many words I don't fucking Anna this, Anna that.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's a really like short ST. You take it and it just kicks in.
Yeah.
Like and then it lasts for a few hours and then you see you later. And then the potential issue would be if I took it, my push and my pull would be fantastic.
And you're right.
But if I go to run. My calves and hamstrings and quads would get too pumped, and then I wouldn't be able to run.
Like the
So
Michelin
the
man.
pump would be too much.
on the scoreboard, it's like, you know, when someone like gets
DNQ.
disqualified or whatever, and the reason too pumped, too pumped,
DNF,
so,
the run.
Blues, DNF, too pumped.
Yep. So I'm not going to take Anadrol on the day, guys.
That's the reason why. That's the only reason.
I want Charlie to get his blood transfusion beforehand. Come on, 2 weeks before.
No, but then if he does, he needs to do really
I
good on
gotta
the
see a
run.
hematologist. I got to fight.
There's a process.
It's a big
Too
process.
much.
I can't be fucked.
Can't be fucked.
If you had it though, you maybe could be fucked. If you had the
I'd rather
blood
just put that energy into training, into running. No, training's fucking. What have we got? 6 sessions. Yeah, there's like a big going on.
Nice.
Yeah. Speaking of things going on, I think we're going to reset expectations. The 6 minute mile.
Yeah,
I don't know if I got it.
when I started looking, I knew I wasn't because you always do 6 minutes. Like it's fast. It's pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's fast for us. It's not probably not fast
for you, mate,
not
not
us. We're right.
All round athletes.
I can't believe how negative your internal dialogue is, mate.
I'm a fucking realist. I just look at the numbers. It's numbers. It's math.
It's math.
It's math.
It is.
If I'm running,
Tell Goggins
it's math and it's hard.
Tell Goggins
I was about
it's
to
maths
say.
to carry the boats, man.
Cardiovascular physiology. It's the size of your heart, brother. You got to.
yeah, no, I know that.
You don't have
but
the ticker.
What we're talking is like, yeah, I'm gonna deadlift 350 when you've been doing 240 for sets of 5 in training.
Not with that attitude.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, mate.
Come on, man.
mate. I know on the day I got ticker. Don't worry, you fucking worry.
He's got theory.
Don't you worry about
Charlie,
Demons.
ticker Athanasi you.
We're putting down the other athletes on the day.
that. Are we?
Don't try
you,
too hard.
you.
Yeah.
My own clients.
You're demons. Yeah, I'm better than you.
I'm better than you. Tell my.
When one of your clients runs past you, hey, but I lifted you though.
I'm better than you. A few ankle taps. 6 minute mile. What do you need? What pace do you need for that?
Like 340, yeah?
345-minute
Yeah,
case.
7 minute was 420 pace.
Yeah.
This morning I was doing 200
kilometers.
meters.
420 kilometers per minute.
Yeah.
Minutes.
Kilometers.
4 minutes.
Minutes per kilometer.
Are you blazed?
I'm blazed.
He's always blazed.
Bit of CBD oil in my
Need that blood
smoothie.
transfusion.
Yeah, 4 minute 20 pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, this morning I was doing 200 meters. I think I was about 40 seconds. And that is the pace you need. It's like 3 minutes 40 something. That's what you need to be doing for a mile to get a 6 minute mile.
It's really
Get
fast.
spikes.
I got trail shoes. I'm right.
I can't get spikes and then run an 8 minute. Like I need
shoes and spikes are completely.
Nah, mate, get trail shoes and run 8 minute.
What are you talking about? I got trail shoes.
No, they got like little rubber,
what in your Nikes?
yeah,
in
they're
your
like,
ultra
they're
ultra
grippy.
boosts.
They're grippy as.
True.
True.
Trail shoes.
True.
It's pretty. It's yeah.
True.
It's fast. Like it's fast.
I've realized. Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
Wait, that's a really good point.
So 4 minutes 20.
It's fast.
4 minutes.
420. Blaze it,
Oh, now he gets it.
Dan
5
said-
minutes late.
Dan Sterling said that. He's like, oh, that's a good pace. Of course.
No, hang on. So 4 minute 20 kilometers is a 7 minute mile.
And what'd you say?
345 is a 6 minute mile.
Yeah.
What's an 8? Like fucking 450 or something?
Don't worry about that.
I didn't, bro. I'm
No, 7 minutes. Yeah.
All right, so I'm pretty comfortable. I reckon I can get a
get
sub
7
7
minute.
now.
Yeah, you can get
I reckon I could do a sub 7
Yeah, yeah.
now. So
Could you?
I reckon I could. Yeah.
Because you did 4 by 400 the other day. You dropped to a minute 40, and that was with a 2 minute rest. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
but
need-
I
you need
did
to do
2 kilometers off 5 minutes, and that wasn't all out.
2 kilometers or 5
A
minutes.
5 minute pace. That wasn't all out. So I could do it.
Sub
pretty
7.
confident.
So
Let's go to the track after this.
I've got to run. I've got
money
to
we
run
got
today or
around
tomorrow.
Run.
Yeah.
My legs are busted. The thought of going to the track after this, I was no way. I love it though.
I got the double.
See,
I did run this morning. I ran this morning. But I mean, like, do you love the feeling?
That's what I'm going to say. I'm
Of
finding
run-
so
of what?
far, it's a nice feeling. Like after I run, it's a satisfying. It's
High.
a satisfying. There's a runner's high.
Would you describe it as a high?
It's definitely it's up there.
It's a high.
But the heavy legs is satisfying because after basketball it's like, oh, I've got shin splints, my knees hurt. But after running, it's like my legs just feel like that. It's more muscular, which we love. We
Sounds
prefer
like you
muscular.
are underprepared for basketball.
Oh, definitely, bro, 100%.
It's more of a load
No,
management. issue.
see, here's the thing though. With running, there's periods, there's rest periods, there's paces. With basketball, it's just go hard. Like I'm not pacing myself with basketball. With this, I'm being a bit more fucking logical and measured about it. There's no measured in basketball.
It's just
like
maths. Well,
hard.
that's good because it is just
man.
maths.
It's just
At the end of the day, it's just maths.
We need to
just
We need to blend maths with heart. That's where.
No, you don't because it's just maths.
Nah,
man.
I need some heart. If it was just maths, then I'm gonna run a 9-minute mile.
I'm really keen to see people blow up on the last 400.
Oh man, I'm going to be one of them.
Like people are going to hit the last 400. They're going to go super hard. And they're going to the back 2. They're going to be
Because it is such a dirty distance.
Yeah. It's a
Like,
dirty
it is
distance.
about as dirty as it could get.
It's a dirty distance. You
How do you reckon the social drinks
watching-
after they're going to be?
We're going to be
Oh,
vomiting. We're going to need like 6 hours before we can drink.
Oh, it's going to be
They're,
serious
um,
heartburn.
yeah.
I was watching. I was like on YouTube.
We'll learn 'em, though.
How to run
Oh,
a faster 1 minute mile, and like one of the things was pacing. Like people just go too hard too early. So that's a big one.
Negative splits.
Huh?
Negative splits.
Negative splits.
Yeah, yeah.
What is that?
That's when you run faster each split.
Each split. So
It'd
you
be,
want
That
it'd be like every 400,
every 400
you want
faster.
That's what
faster.
Faster.
People, yeah, I'm telling you. We were speaking about weights today, but
Well, let's go back to
the running.
Because let's be honest, this is the main thing that's in our life right
Yeah.
now. So a few
This is our identity,
a few
everything.
new entrants. One, Christian Woodford is in push pull run. How do we think he's going to go?
I reckon he's going to win.
Woodford.
Yeah.
He's got heart.
You'd say,
He's
it's all
got ticker.
maths. This is what I'm saying. It's heart. It's not a equation. Just 1 + 1. It's not. There's heart. Heart is in there. It's heart plus maths.
Yeah, I've got the
equals
heart.
success.
I got both.
So I don't know if you do.
I do.
You just got maths,
No, I got both.
nerd.
I definitely got
Woodford has got maths,
both. I'll eat Woodford.
and he's got. Call him out.
I'm calling you out, Woodford.
Call him out.
You gonna smash him?
Call him out again. That's a
Woodford.
shit call out.
Call him out. We'll snippet it. Go. Call him out.
I'm calling you out, Christian Woodford. I'm gonna up. You want me to call him out?
Call him out.
Call him out.
Call him out in a way that we can use it as a snippet.
right.
Come on.
Christian Woodford, coming for you. Push, pull, run. Calling you out.
It's an Insta story.
Slow and old.
There it is. He's got heart. So I'm saying Christian Woodford's going to win.
He's old. He's on the back end. He's on the back end of his athletic era.
I think he's gonna have a second era.
Second era.
Just to prove you wrong.
This is the coming of
the
Christian
comeback.
Woodford.
We have multiple peaks.
Maybe I'm doing this is all reverse psychology. Just want to G him up,
Maybe.
call him out.
Yeah, you're a good mate.
G him up.
We had a.
I've definitely got heart though. I know. I don't care what anyone
No,
says.
you have to say. You got to prove it.
I've got it.
Hang on. We're going to talk about some more. No, you got maths.
But you got and you got a low red blood cell count.
Yeah.
So
Lydia.
So I need more heart then
We've-
to
we've had-
compensate for the low blood cells.
All right. Hang on. I'm moving this topic
it's
on.
pumping blood with no oxygen. But
Alrighty, Lydia.
Don't need oxygen.
Hand, I don't want to butcher the name, but unfortunately I'm probably going to butcher the
Do you want me
last
to try?
name. Lydia Heavies has signed up as well.
I'd say it's that. Yeah.
Yeah, she deadlifts
Heavies.
260 for a double.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
that's big.
and the video that I've seen on her social media is 120 for a single bench press.
Do we have any of her run? Do we know what she can run?
Nah, well, she's a strong woman.
Powerlifting, strong
Yeah,
woman.
they're
So there's some
conditioned,
conditioning
mate.
there.
She'd be fitter than your average powerlifter for sure.
Yeah,
No, they're way fitter.
So-
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They can
Yeah.
actually run.
but 1.6 kilometers is a dirty time.
It's a dirty,
it's a
dirty
dirty distance. So
But I don't know. Some of those strongman events are like sweet spot of like chat times as well.
like 6 minute.
Like they're doing circuits,
Remember
like pick up something, run, come
Triana,
back.
I remember reading his stuff. He was a strongman coach, one of like Paddy D's proteges that just went off and was one of those hyper intelligent dudes. I think he's pushing much stuff
Lot
anymore.
of maths.
Heaps of maths, heaps of maths, heaps of fizz, and he's like just all he would talk about is just glycolysis.
It's just nuts.
Like that's it. His whole thing was just glycolysis.
That was his shtick.
His whole shtick. All training was centered around like just glycolytic shit. Just embrace the burn. It sucks. So I reckon strongman for a mile, maybe some carryover outside of ground contacts. Maybe that's the one thing that could be the limiting factor, like actually being able to pound the pavement or the track.
Like some of their events is like you pick up something, you run, you drop it off, you run back, you pick up something else. I think like
yeah, like no, it's
better than
like,
you think.
I mean, yeah, but you're not running. Like it's not a proper running. Like it's not. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's not real like force in the ground. The knees aren't coming up that high. You know what I mean?
Fair.
You can't run that high.
He's got to run with stiff legs.
Chest. Yeah, yeah. So that could be the limit, the rate limiter there.
I think it's going to be the right limit for a lot of people.
I reckon metabolically, Lydia could do some damage there, but like, has the ground contacts.
As the running ground.
What's her body weight?
Not sure.
Does the scale,
There's
does the
some big
formula
numbers.
scale differently for male and female? It does.
Yeah, there's two.
Yeah.
Right. Because she's got a big deadlift.
Oh, she's going to be leading at the halfway point comfortably.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
So really, if she can get under 8 minutes,
Probably hers.
That's a winner.
I think she may be the new favourite.
Yeah.
8 minutes. Surely she can get under 8 minutes. 8 minutes is a good target. She could be way better. We could be comparing.
Maybe she runs.
She's like,
we
I've
don't
already
even
done
know.
6.5 miles.
And where you're just like,
She's Australia's Viada.
But yeah,
She's in the
it's
forums.
just maths.
Yeah.
it's all
It
it
is
comes
just
down
maths.
to.
maths.
At the end of the day,
Just work the
just
maths out.
Yeah.
8 minute mile, 2 minutes per 400.
I think one thing that I'm learning so far in my hybrid endeavors is that I need to accumulate some running time. Like I feel like I was planning on just doing one run a week and that would be enough, but I don't think it. I think I actually need to accumulate running time.
Do some Bartlett, mate.
Yeah, so I've brought in a second session that's a little bit down on the RPE scale.
What is it?
Had a call with my coach, Buzz. I've decided to select Buzz as my coach, not you, Charlie.
Fair enough. You're
So-
a fucking rat.
Too much maths, not enough heart.
I wanted more heart because I need more heart. I am.
You're not driven by maths.
I
You're
am
driven by
a
heart.
weak
You went
piece
to
of
the
shit.
wrong play. He's got. Just remember who had the panic attack in the water.
Remember who got a way faster time on the try? I had that panic attack on purpose.
It was maths. It was
I
maths.
created adversity.
To make your heart
I
really work.
manifested demons. So I could beat the shit out of you with demons.
So anyway, I've selected Buzz as my coach. I've taken my talents to Buzz, and I called him, and he said,
On the way to the track.
Yeah. I already had done the maths. I was going to the track, but I needed a couple of formulas
What
to
did you
improve. And he said, do it slightly slower.
I just rapped the lyrics of two of America's Most Wanted to him, and then he was like, all right,
I was G'd up. And that's why you hire the big guy. That's why you hire the big guy.
So what's the plan for the second run?
The second run is slower, just a little bit down on RPE. He gave me a really good thing about talk test, and I should be able to hold a talk test. I heard that from him. So, yeah.
Talk test.
Yeah.
breathing through your nose holes.
Breathing through your nose as well.
So what's the deal with what's the deal with nose breathing? Should we not? When should we what's the
So I'm not doing it for any physiological response.
Do you put a little bridge on your nose?
Yeah, no, just tape everything.
Tape your mouth.
Just tape your mouth. Tape your ears.
No, that was a genuine question. You do that little bridge thing that's
people do that.
meant to
Sleep
separate
apnea.
your nose.
People put the
Yeah,
the
I know
bridge.
that, and I was taking the piss in response.
Yeah, but I want to know the answer. Are you using the bridge?
No, why would I do that? No. I already look like a fucking kid with my ugly and my shit Asics. Why would I rock that
No,
as
man, I
well?
saw
The colourway.
There's actually some different Asics colorways. I've seen a few.
Yeah, no,
His
but
ones
my
only
ones...
have
I reckon you got stitched
Pretty,
out.
like
pretty niche
$400.
running shoes. To rock that with the muzzle and a nose bridge to Duncan McKinnon.
A gimp mask.
A gimp mask.
A little red ball in your mouth.
You're like breathing through it.
Running around in leather pants.
BDSM, I'm whipping myself around Duncan McKinnon.
Charlie just fucking cracking you in the back.
On a
whip me,
chariot.
daddy.
chariot on a chariot.
Run faster.
What would the safe word be? Running.
Gag in your mouth.
Safe word
Stop the mouth breathing.
That's real demons. That's a real demon session.
man.
Yeah, whip me, daddy.
Oh fuck me.
Yeah, nice.
All right, nasal breathing. Let's go.
He's been talking some trash.
Oh, yeah, wait. Just real quick. Nasal breathing. Let's just... What trash have we been talking?
He's been talking trash.
Oh, we've been talking trash. Sorry.
I'm big trash
He's been
talker.
talking trash. Deuce was at their house the other day talking trash.
Oh, I'll get there. I'll get there. Let's just
Put
finish
that one on the back
Now
burner.
I'm determined
just finish
to
it.
destroy him.
Oh no, there's definite trash talk. But
That's a bit of heart coming out.
let's just do the nasal breathing thing real quick. We'll just get there.
Yeah.
And then we'll do it. I'm sure there's physiological mechanisms that people talk about, like CO2 tolerance, this, that. But it's just, don't worry about it. Like, it's just not worth it. You're going to make gains
Wrong
regardless.
maths.
It's
Too much maths.
That's where the maths comes in and overtakes the ticker. When it's, don't worry about it.
The mathematics.
Mathematics, CO2 tolerant. Don't worry about it. You don't need it.
Oh, yeah. There was no maths in my 10K the other day.
No, don't interrupt. We finished this point. All right?
Yeah. But I'll whip you tonight, boy.
Yeah. This the nasal breathing is a nice way to just make sure you're in zone 2. That's it.
Fool's way. Just
It's a fool's way.
fool's way.
That's
Just
it.
close
'Cause
your mouth.
The talk test.
Foolproof.
Sometimes,
That's probably a better one.
Fool's way. Fool's gold.
no, literally, because I sometimes struggle
I'm a
thinking of a
fool.
20-word sentence when I'm going for
Yeah, I was thinking
Macca's
20
order, man.
1, 2, 3. I was going to count to 20. Like,
Macca's order.
I did that VT1 test and I was repeating a Macca's order the whole time. Like, can I get a double quarter pounder with large chips and a large Coke and 2 Fantas and a double cheeseburger? And it was like this. I'm like, this is shit. Craig goes, can I just count to 20?
What's your sentence?
I don't know. I just repeated that. It was too much for me to think about.
the sentence is a
So
safe
were you
word.
in zone 2?
Oh, maybe. I was definitely top end VT1.
safe. Yeah.
what the
VL.
fuck is VT1?
Don't worry about
Ventil-
it.
too much
If you want to know about
That's
VT1,
maths.
if you want to know about VT1, come to Heavies Wanna Run on Saturday.
It's the
April
upper end of
15th.
zone 2, ventilatory threshold 1.
Yeah.
That's for VT1.
There's VT1, there's
VT
VT2,
turbo?
and then there's VT2.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like a kind of car. Like,
I wonder why. Yeah.
VT1 Interceptor skids.
Because yeah, I've looked at some of those templates from Viada. His zone 2 works. A lot of it's VT1, so that it's up. So it's actually quite. It's not as slow as what I first thought for like his zone 2. He's going to say like nice easy pace. It's actually still got a bit of rhythm behind it.
Well, I think that just comes down to the minimum effective dose for performance thing. If you're working to the bottom end of zone 2, you just got to accumulate more
longer.
Ks. So from a fatigue management standpoint, it's like just up the intensity a little bit. From a ground contact standpoint, it's not going to be fast enough to the point where it's like this is accumulating that much fatigue. It's enough of a stimulus without having to do heaps more Ks.
Because I still struggle. My VT1 pace when I did the test was 6:10.
Yeah, I bumped it up.
But I still struggle. Like for 20 minutes, I will struggle to maintain that pace. But that's why I'm trying to get better at doing that for shorter periods.
This would be my next question. Because obviously, previously there was all these like heart rate zones, and everyone was just prescribing off heart rate zones. But it now seems to be that everyone's prescribing off like meters per second or like
VO2 max
time.
It's like
Time.
percentage
pace.
of VO2 max or race pace.
Yeah.
They're the two things. So the zones that would be, so your traditional zones would be like VO2 max. That's obviously 100% of VO2 max. So you're working at that. Then you got tempo and or threshold. You got critical pace, and it's
Zone
like
3.
100%, 90%, 80%, and then like
Of your VO2 max
of your
pace.
VO2 max pace. And then you got like 50 to 60, which would be like your zone 2 stuff. And then it's like you can equate those heart rate zones to those paces, but then it's like
same
heart
thing.
rate zones are so like heart rate zones fluctuate and they're subject to life stress or how much caffeine you've had or hydration status,
How much
or
Anadrol.
sleep or Anadrol or dramas, like all these things
How
that
big your
could
ticker is.
affect. And it's like, all right, you're going to work through this heart rate zone, which is so fickle. You'd rather just have a zone. A pacing zone plus or minus. And instead you're going to be working through something that's sufficiently hard. And then you can layer in RPE as well. And you've got this nice
Double.
objective, subjective banger, bottoms up, top down, this, that. And then you're fine. And then you can use that.
synthesis of everything.
Synthesis.
Synthesis of heart.
Both of you.
It's synthesis.
It looks like a Star Trek motion.
You fucking both of you are like this.
It reminds me of the Super Fund. The same Super
Industry
Fund.
super fun.
Compare the pair. Compare the pair.
Compare the pair. I think if you're going to equate it to anything, it's similar. Your heart rate zones would be like your percentage base. Very fixed, rigid. Whereas your race pace and then RPE, it's a little bit more like your.
Is race pace your VO2 max, or is race pace your
It's
goal
pace? So if I want to do
goal pace to run the event at?
Mathematics, my life. I told you that. It always comes back.
Teach me.
No, if I want to do a 7-minute mile, I've got to run 4:20 pace. So if I'm not doing if I've got to accumulate time at that pace, so that'd be my race pace. It's my dream pace. My VO2 max pace is less than that.
So your goal pace, race pace, is 4 minutes 20.
If I want to do 7-minute.
So how much work are you accumulating per week there?
Don't worry about
None at the moment.
None,
because that's fast. Yeah,
that's where the ticker comes in. So you've done the maths,
No,
and now it's time
that's going to come in the second block of 5 weeks. This first 5 weeks, I've already got my hamstring tendinopathy. I'm already
that sort of stuff, because that's like super maximal VO2.
Fast.
That's akin to singles.
Yes.
Like that one?
Oi,
So that'll come in
like an eloquent guy over here.
that comes in the peaking block.
makes
That'll be
sense,
the
yeah.
last 4 or 5 weeks. This first 4 or 5 weeks, a little bit more.
Accumulations.
Well, I've already started my peaking phase then, so I'm going to be super
You're doing a long
peak.
peak.
But then you've got that
I'm
burning those 400s.
little polarized approach now. This is where if it was that standalone, it's like, all right, well, I've actually got some aerobic work to
I need some,
allow myself to recover from those efforts.
If you were just doing the 4x400s as fast as you can, it's like once a week. It's probably not good.
Yeah, I've realised that.
You would have blown up in the last 800 of the thing. But that's what it's like. But also because you're so novice, I feel like you're doing when we first started in the gym, we did whatever and we got
newbie
stronger,
gains.
and you got stronger.
Okay.
But it comes to a point where you do need a bit of
No,
structure.
I'm well in the newbie gains. I'm back on that linear progression, baby.
Linears.
I'm just progressing everything.
That's
at the
why
moment.
even like the stuff like the fartlek and shit just makes sense. You're going out for a 30-40 minute run, throw in some faster stuff.
it's so much fun.
I looked at
It's actually so much fun.
the running program that you had written for running for the app users, and obviously we'll send it out to all the ticket people.
You're going to get no gains. Sign up for coaching.
Zero gains.
No, but one of the things that you had on there on day 3 was pulses of speed work.
No, it wasn't called pulses. It was surges.
Power surges.
Surges.
I just said surges of dream pace. So I put in, so it was their slower run, 20 to 30 minutes, and surges of dream pace. So just throw them in.
Fartlek.
And you get
It's fartlek.
50, and you get 50 lashes at the end.
Yeah, and then BDSM.
Put this in your mouth.
For the final 100 meters.
Come to the gym, BDSM.
Put this in your mouth.
Lots of learning. But the seminar's this Saturday. If you still want, this is coming up Thursday.
Yeah, this will be
Yeah, so
Thursday.
you got a couple of days, get a ticket. You want to learn more about mathematics?
Heavies Wanna Run.
Yeah, I got the heart portion of the day.
the mathematics portion.
Charlie's doing the mathematics.
M&A, maths and heart.
Yeah, what is actually being discussed on that day?
We're doing kickboxing out in the alleyway.
the heart.
Lesson
It's gonna
one.
beat you.
Lesson 1.
How to punch on.
You come
How
down.
many punches can you take?
No, what is actually involved in the seminar? This will be the last 5 minutes. What are the main topics?
So there's theory, there's application. There's a practical. No, so I think it's going to be a little unique perspective because Charlie and I are obviously not the top end of top end hybrid athletes
Yet.
So yet, nice.
Yep, Mark.
Thanks, bro. We need to get back to his shit talk. He's supporting me now, but behind closed doors, I know he's talking shit.
He's talking big shit.
I know
I
he's
talk
talking
shit about
big
everyone.
shit.
Man, I was pacing.
Yeah, I
I was
know.
like, I'm going to fucking smash the cunt.
Yeah.
I got home, Juice goes, oh, Jamie's been talking shit. I'm going to fucking kill this cunt.
What shit is he talking?
He was going to say, he's like, how funny it would be if I beat Charlie. He's actually been training. It'll be demoralising for him.
Demoralising is the word.
This is what keeps Charlie out.
thing that it doesn't. It doesn't. I know you are fast. You're going to run it faster than me. You're just a faster runner. You are a faster runner. You always were. School.
More heart too.
Way more. You got the least amount of heart. You man. What if the footy coach?
My footy coach, my nickname, I shirked a contest, like pulled out, and he yells out, he's like, Jamie, you petrified bitch.
We used to call him PB.
They call me PB at school. Petrified bitch.
You were shit at footy.
Oh man, I got dragged at one of my grand finals by the coach because again I pulled this was actually
He was
like
soft.
weekend football. He dragged me like halfway through the first quarter and then like I didn't play for 2 quarters. I'm like, why haven't you played me? He's like, you pulled out of a contest. And I was like, yeah, fair enough.
Jamie was soft at
I was a soft.
very soft.
I'm very soft. I'm soft in a lot of areas.
I know you got ticker. In all seriousness, you got ticker because you box fucking a few of these ones. Like you got to have ticker to get in a ring and fight someone. That's just fucking. You have to.
Nuts.
I feel like
That's the first nice thing you've ever said to me.
No, but
Prick.
but
Don't get used to it.
I've also got ticker. I got ticker.
Yeah, but you're slow. So
I am
Man,
slow.
see, I like to think that I've got
Fucking
ticker, but it's not going to look like I've got ticker when I run. It's going to look like I've got no ticker.
are you gonna go like mean mug on the track the way like sometimes you deadlift and
Oh,
shit?
bro, I do it already. I'm already going. I was like yelling and shit on my last 400.
On your last 200.
Yelling.
Biting people's ankles.
Current affair dog guy.
So the seminar, what are we talking about?
First thing is obviously you can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
Especially us.
That's the first thing. No, but we're gonna talk about our experience. Very short, so we're not going to be talking about ourselves. We've got enough me time on the podcast. But I do think that is a unique perspective going from like primarily strength and body composition and then the transition into building more of this work in there, because there are some considerations for heavier individuals, people that haven't run at all, people who haven't done any plyometric exercise since they were 15 and now that's 10 years later and they're trying to get into it. So from the programming standpoint, there will be that included, some of those considerations. The theory side, I did jump the gun a little bit. It would be just talking about the basics of adaptation, programming principles, you know, your old favourites.
Fatigues, man.
The new spins on the old favourites, we'll be touching on them. And then just methods of conditioning and just strength training, microcycle and long-term training development. The whole kit and caboodle is going to be covered in some capacity.
And then we'll go through a bit of we'll go through an practical as well in the gym. Talk about some of the bits and bobs of rotations. No, we're going to go a little bit more into the single leg transverse plane. Some of the stuff you might miss out on from just bilateral training. Obviously, yeah. But if you want more, that's enough for now. So
Don't tell them too much, yeah?
come down on Saturdays.
Mad, that will be on Saturday. There are a few tickets left. You did a great job there, Charles. Well done.
You just got to wait into your shell a little bit.
Just come down.
No, because it's good. When we put it on the whiteboard the other day, I looked at it and I was
You were
like,
G'd up?
no, it was good. I looked at it and I was like, it's a proper seminar.
You fucking hope so.
Mate, look, you're always going to have... There's always a little bit of like... I feel like imposter syndrome, always. Apparently it never goes away.
A healthy amount of imposter syndrome.
I think everyone.
healthy.
I think everyone deals with it in certain capacity. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to have a bit of... But ultimately, I think we've got a good product and I think it'll be interesting for the people that attend.
Product.
And Woodford's coming down, so...
Woodford is coming. Woody's
let him know.
all in
Gonna let him
in
know.
and around strength culture.
I'm going to
Again.
let him know. I'm going to break his kneecaps. I'm actually pumped for Woodford to come down and do it. He'll be good. He's a
Woody's the man.
character.
And speaking of Heavies Wanna Run, we want to tour. We want to do some cloud tours again. So we need guest recommendations outside of the normal health and fitness, strength training, powerlifting space. We want some new characters. So if you're listening to this, if you've made it to the end, we do appreciate you. But also, let us know who would be an interesting chat in either New South Wales or Queensland. We're going to take the whole team. We're doing a full one. Did's getting the call up. He's coming.
I've made it, boys.
He's made it.
Kathy Freeman.
We're gonna run. We're gonna do group runs up there.
We got to.
On the
We'll
beach.
do meetups.
Tops off.
Tops off. I'll be by myself.
We'll do meetups in Gold Coast.
Mermaid Beach.
Mermaid Waters.
When we go to Sydney, we'll do the what's the Bondi
run.
Bondi to Coogee.
Yeah,
Influencer run.
I need to build up to be able to keep up with the group runs. I need to be able to run 5K so I can come on one of these runs.
That's right. You can be at the back with me.
So yeah, we do want to travel within the next couple of months. So let us know who you want to see because we'd love your recommendations. But other than that, I think we'll wrap it up there. If you want a ticket to Heavies Wanna Run, it will be linked down below. If you want coaching from the boys, DM them or click the link down below as well. Other than that, we appreciate you. 5 stars, Spotify, and subscribe. And
Catch you later.
ciao.
So yeah.